Did you know that crows are true geniuses? These remarkable birds exhibit intelligence on par with primates and even young children. They can recognize human faces, hold grudges, and remember those who treat them kindly or badly. But their skills go far beyond memory. Crows are one of the few non-human species to craft tools. They bend wires into hooks, shape leaves into scoops, and use sticks to fish out insects from tight crevices. Some species, like the New Caledonian crow, solve multi-step puzzles requiring foresight and planning. They cache food across hundreds of hiding spots and recall them months later. In group settings, they use complex vocal signals to communicate warnings, plan ambushes, or share news. These feathered masterminds have even been trained to distinguish shapes, colors, and sequences, demonstrating problem-solving ability that rivals a 5-year-old child. Why is there a museum dedicated to pasta in Italy? Italy is the land of pasta, so it's no surprise that they have a museum devoted to this culinary masterpiece. In Rome, you can visit the Pasta Museum, where you'll find all kinds of pasta varieties, pasta-making machines, and even historic pasta. This place is for true carbohydrate enthusiasts, where you can learn about the history of creating spaghetti, fettuccine, and other types of pasta that Italians have been making for hundreds of years. Surprisingly, there are also humorous exhibits, like pasta shaped like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Hell freezes over every year. Believe it or not, there's a town in Norway called Hell, and it literally freezes over every winter. This is not a joke, it's a real place on the map. And although the town is quite small, it attracts tourists every year thanks to its unusual name. Due to Norway's cold climate, Hell is covered in ice and snow every winter, often sparking jokes. "When hell freezes over" is a phrase that is rather common for the residents of this town. So if you want to see hell for yourself, head to Norway in the winter and watch it freeze over. Who would have thought that dragonflies are sky ninjas? These ancient insects are among the most skilled aerial hunters on Earth. With 4 wings that move independently, dragonflies can hover in place, pivot mid-air, and dart in any direction with precision. Their massive compound eyes provide nearly 360-degree vision, allowing them to track prey and dodge predators in a fraction of a second. They don't just chase prey, they intercept it mid-flight, calculating trajectory like a missile system. Their success rate? A mind-blowing 95%. In wind tunnel experiments, dragonflies were shown to anticipate the movements of their targets, adjusting their flight path accordingly. Their speed tops, 60 km/h, and their role in controlling pests like mosquitoes makes them not only amazing hunters, but crucial allies to human health. Did you know the average person spends 6 months of their life at traffic lights? The average person spends around 6 months of their life waiting for red lights to turn green. This adds up from all the small stops we make at intersections and crosswalks every day. While it may seem like only a few seconds here and there, over a lifetime, it becomes a significant chunk of time. These moments of waiting remind us of the hidden rhythms of everyday life and how much time we spend on seemingly small things. Imagine for a moment that Alaska was once part of Russia. Today, Alaska, one of the harshest and most remote states in the US, was formerly a part of the Russian Empire. It was sold to the United States in 1867 for a record-breaking $7.2 million. Alaska is not only one of the northernmost states, but also has the longest coastline in the U.S., stretching over 10,000 kilometers. The region has a challenging climate that makes it unique and markedly different from the rest of the country, while remaining an important strategic and natural resource. The oldest toy in the world is just a stick. Believe it or not, one of the oldest toys on Earth is simply a stick. For thousands of years, sticks have been used by people for all kinds of purposes, from simple play to the creation of complex tools. Children have used sticks in role-playing games, imagining them as swords, weapons, or magical wands. These simple yet versatile objects remain a staple in children's games even today. Their popularity is so great that in 2008, the United States even established a National Stick Day to celebrate the importance of the stick in toy history. Who would have thought that such a simple item could become part of our cultural heritage? Olympus Mons is the largest volcano in the solar system. Olympus Mons, located on Mars, is the largest volcano in the solar system. It stands at a height of 21 kilometers, with a base diameter of 600 kilometers. This colossal mountain is so huge that if you stacked 3 Mount Everests on top of each other, they still wouldn't reach its summit. Olympus Mons is a true mountain of fire and one of Mars's greatest mysteries. Did you know sloths can hold their breath for ages? You might think of sloths as the slowpokes of the animal kingdom, but they have some pretty amazing skills too. One of their coolest tricks is the ability to hold their breath for up to 40 minutes. That's right. These laid-back creatures can dive underwater when they need to, which comes in handy for a couple of reasons. First, it helps them stay safe from predators, as they can slip into the water and disappear. But it's not just about hiding. This impressive breath-holding ability also lets sloths reach new food sources. They often live high up in trees, and sometimes they need to take a dip in the water below to munch on some tasty leaves or fruits. Sloths are perfectly adapted to their leisurely lifestyle, which includes moving slowly and spending most of their time hanging out in the treetops. So next time you see a sloth, remember they're not just about slow living. They've got some remarkable tricks up their furry sleeves when it comes to survival in the wild. Did you know that Hattie McDaniel made Oscar history? In 1940, this remarkable actress became the first African-American woman to win an Academy Award, specifically for her performance as Mammy in the epic film Gone with the Wind. Hattie's win was groundbreaking, not just for her career, but for the representation of African Americans in Hollywood during a time of significant racial discrimination. The ceremony took place in Los Angeles, and despite the segregated environment of the time, she delivered a heartfelt acceptance speech that resonated with many. McDaniel's achievement paved the way for future generations of actors and actresses of color, showing them that success in the film industry was possible. Surprisingly, her landmark win came at a moment when roles for Black artists were often limited to stereotypes. Yet Hattie managed to shine through her talent and determination. Today, we celebrate her legacy and the doors she opened for others in film. How can we continue to honor her contributions to cinema and fight for greater diversity in Hollywood? Imagine a cobra warning you with a scent before striking. When a cobra spreads its iconic hood, it's not just for show, it's part of a multi-layered defense system. The dramatic display makes the snake appear larger and more menacing. But some species go even further. They secrete pheromone-rich saliva to signal territory or attract mates. And if that doesn't work, spitting cobras can eject venom up to 1.8 meters away, aiming for the eyes to cause temporary blindness and severe pain. This venom isn't just toxic, it's a precision chemical weapon. The cobra's combination of bluff, chemical warning, and physical defense makes it one of nature's most sophisticated survivalists. No other snake combines these tactics with such chilling elegance. Do you know what the deepest lake in the world is? Lake Baikal, located in Siberia, is the deepest freshwater lake on Earth. Its depth reaches 5,315 feet, which is about 1,620 meters. This natural wonder holds a wealth of secrets, preserving ancient layers of sediments and housing unique species found nowhere else. Lake Baikal is not just a body of water. It's a living archive of the planet's history, containing traces of Earth's evolution hidden deep within its waters. Why is there a restaurant in Tokyo where real ninjas serve food? In Tokyo, there is a restaurant where waiters dress as ninjas, and it's wildly popular. The waiters perform tricks, vanish into thin air, and serve dishes with an air of mystery. The menu features exotic dishes, served with an element of surprise, and every meal is accompanied by a show. It's not just a restaurant, it's a full adventure for those who have always dreamed of seeing ninjas in action. Have you ever wondered how moths sniff love from miles away? Male silkworm moths possess some of the most sensitive noses in the animal kingdom. Their feathery antennae are loaded with millions of scent receptors that can detect just a few molecules of a female's pheromone. From up to 16 kilometers away, these males lock onto the chemical trail and navigate with astonishing precision, even in total darkness. Once in range, they engage in a dance-like flight, guided by increasingly strong scent cues. This extreme sensitivity ensures that even in low-density populations, mating is still possible. Their antennae are so advanced, they've inspired sensor designs in modern robotics and technology. Nature made them into airborne pheromone-seeking missiles, all for the sake of love. How about this? Every fifth dollar in U.S. taxes goes to defense? This essentially means that the U.S. spends vast sums on developing its military strength and maintaining global influence. One of the most recognizable symbols of American power, the 100 bill, features Benjamin Franklin, who was never a president but played a crucial role in the nation's history. This approach symbolizes not only the influence of individuals, but also the importance of strategic management at all levels, including defense funding. How about this? In Sweden, there's a competition for the worst-smelling socks. This may sound absurd, but Sweden holds an annual competition called the Stinky Sock Contest, where participants compete for the title of owning the smelliest socks. The competition attracts many brave souls willing to wear their socks for months without washing in hopes of winning. The socks are judged based on intensity and aroma, and the winner gets not only the title, but also unique prizes, such as a year's supply of new socks. It sounds weird, but this contest really exists. Can it be true Saudi Arabia imports camels from Australia? Yes, it's no mistake. Camels, once brought to Australia from the Middle East for farming and transportation, are now being exported back to Saudi Arabia. Camels have thrived in Australia's environment, and their population has grown significantly. Now they are exported back to the Middle East, where they are used for similar purposes. Surprisingly, Australia is now a global leader in camel exports. Who would have thought that these desert animals would complete such a unique historical cycle? It's hard to believe, but the first university in the U.S. was established in 1636, and it was Harvard. It remains one of the most prestigious institutions not only in America, but also in the world. Harvard has become a symbol of academic success and intellectual wealth, providing its students with the highest quality education. This institution has been the foundation for numerous scientific discoveries and social changes in the country, and has played a key role in shaping the U.S. educational system, which continues to be one of the most advanced in the world. Jellyfish. Ancient survivors of 5 mass extinctions. Can you believe that jellyfish have existed on our planet for more than 600 million years and have survived 5 mass extinctions? These ancient creatures started their existence long before the dinosaurs and have adapted to the most extreme changes in climate and environment. They have no brains, hearts, or bones, yet they continue to thrive due to their ability to adapt and survive under any conditions. Jellyfish are considered some of the oldest living organisms on Earth, and they continue to amaze scientists with their unique biology. Imagine how incredible nature is, given that these creatures have endured millions of years of evolution. Is it really true that whales have their own songs? Absolutely. Humpback whales are not just massive creatures swimming in the ocean, they're also talented singers. Each male humpback has a unique song that it performs during breeding season, and these tunes can actually evolve over time. Imagine a community of musicians all inspired by one another. In a given region, the males often share similar melodies, creating a kind of musical tradition. As time goes on, these songs can change, adopting new themes and notes while dropping others, much like popular music trends. Scientists believe that this happens because whales interact with each other, learning from one another's melodies. The result is a dynamic song that might sound totally different from one year to the next. Researchers have been documenting these songs for decades, and every new chorus can reveal exciting clues about whale behavior and communication patterns. So next time you think of whales, remember, they're not just swimming under the waves. They're also composing the ocean's symphony. How about this? Dubai has an artificial archipelago in the shape of a world map. The world is an artificial archipelago consisting of 300 islands designed to mimic the outlines of all continents. Each island is intended for private homes or hotels, and owners can choose their country. This project reflects Dubai's ambition, creating incredible landmarks out of sand and water, making them iconic attractions in the region. Can you imagine that the Beatles couldn't read music? One of the most influential bands in history, the Beatles never learned to read sheet music. John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr created their legendary melodies and songs purely by ear, relying on their musical intuition. Despite this, they gave the world hit after hit, forever changing the course of musical history. This fact breaks the stereotype that to create great music, one must be a professional musician who reads music. Their exceptional creative talent and improvisational ability prove that passion and talent matter more than technical skills. How many species of animals do you think are on Earth? Our planet is a true treasure trove, home to over 8,700,000 species of animals. Even more astonishing is that over 80% of these creatures remain undiscovered. These mysterious beings, hidden from our eyes, are waiting for their moment to reveal their secrets. As we explore the animal kingdom, we uncover the wonders of nature, reminding us of the endless mystery and diversity of our planet. Why do cat whiskers really resemble antennas? Whiskers, technically called vibrissae, are far more than decorative features on a cat's face. These thick, stiff hairs are deeply embedded in nerve-rich follicles, making them ultra-sensitive to touch, airflow, and vibration. Found not only on the muzzle but also above the eyes, on the jaw, and even on the paws, whiskers help cats navigate tight spaces, hunt in darkness, and judge distances before leaping. They detect air currents around objects, giving cats a kind of sixth sense that lets them see with touch. When stalking prey, whiskers track the slightest movements, helping cats pinpoint the exact location of a target. During a jump, they act like gyroscopic sensors, helping with last-second mid-air corrections. In essence, whiskers are natural motion detectors and navigation tools, biological radar systems that turn every cat into a precision-controlled predator. Did you know there are eternal lightning storms on Earth? In Venezuela, there is a place called Catatumbo, where lightning strikes almost constantly. This unique natural phenomenon occurs at Lake Maracaibo, where lightning can be observed on up to 250 days each year. Known as the Catatumbo lightning storm, lightning can flash up to 280 times an hour. Scientists believe this is due to the region's unique topography, which creates perfect conditions for constant discharges. This location has become a major attraction for tourists and scientists from around the world. Have you ever seen a double rainbow in the sky? A double rainbow is truly one of nature's most enchanting spectacles. Picture this. As sunlight breaks through after a storm, it hits raindrops hanging in the air, acting like tiny prisms that bend and split the light into a dazzling array of colors. This incredible optical phenomenon features two concentric rainbows, with the brighter, more vivid inner rainbow and a fainter outer one that appears in reverse order of colors. The deeper you observe, the more magic you can find. The outer rainbow is usually a lot wider and can sometimes take on a soft, pastel look. People often feel awe when witnessing this breathtaking display, and many cultures have linked double rainbows to good luck or even a sign of something special on the horizon. So the next time you see one, take a moment to appreciate the science behind it and revel in the beauty that nature offers. These colorful arcs remind us of the wonders that can emerge from rain and sunshine alike. Did you know that turtles can breathe through their butts? Yes, you heard that right. Turtles, especially species like the Fitzroy River turtle, can breathe through their cloaca, the opening they use for reproduction and waste excretion. This amazing ability helps turtles absorb oxygen from the water, allowing them to stay underwater for long periods. This process is called cloacal respiration, and it's yet another example of how unique and diverse survival methods are in the animal kingdom. So next time you see a turtle, remember that it's a true master of breathing from both ends. What do you think is the largest economy in the world? Of course, it's the USA. With a GDP exceeding 23 trillion, the US continues to lead the global economy, consistently maintaining its position as a world leader. The country's economy is based on high technology, innovation, financial services, and a strong military industry. The U.S. remains a global hub for investments, startups, and corporate solutions. Its economic power allows it to influence international markets and set trends in global business, making it not only an economic superpower, but also a vital center for new technology and innovation development. Imagine for a moment that chimpanzees communicate almost like us. Chimpanzees use a rich combination of vocal sounds, gestures, facial expressions, and body language to interact. Their vocalizations include over 30 distinct calls, from food alerts to alarm cries, and even soft coos for reassurance. Each group of chimps has its own dialect, specific patterns of sounds and gestures passed culturally from adult to young. Chimpanzees also gesture with intention. A hand wave, foot stamp, or chest beat can convey urgency, dominance, or invitation. In labs, some chimps have even learned to understand hundreds of human words and symbols, showing the capacity for abstract communication. These apes don't just mimic, they adapt, teach, and express emotions, ideas, and even plans. The similarities between chimp and human communication offer insights into the roots of language and the evolution of intelligence. Why do butterflies taste everything with their feet? Butterflies have chemoreceptors on their feet that let them taste surfaces simply by standing on them. When a butterfly lands on a plant, these sensors immediately analyze sugar content, toxins, and suitability for egg laying. Female butterflies rely on this ability to select the perfect leaves where caterpillars will later hatch and feed. Choosing the wrong plant could be deadly for the next generation, so accuracy is crucial. These taste sensors also help butterflies find the richest nectar sources, making their feeding more efficient. This system saves time and energy, allowing butterflies to make split-second decisions without needing to bite or test with their mouths. It's like having a tongue on your toes, functional, efficient, and vital for survival. Nature gave butterflies the ability to taste the world with every graceful step. Why exactly does the Statue of Liberty belong to New Jersey? This iconic symbol of freedom and democracy, known worldwide, actually sits in New Jersey's waters. While it's often associated with New York City, the legal and geographical details tell a different story. The statue rests on Liberty Island, which is surrounded by the waters of New Jersey. This curious situation arises from an 1834 agreement between New York and New Jersey. The state of New Jersey originally claimed the land due to a 1664 charter, and subsequent laws confirmed that the waters surrounding the island were also part of New Jersey. As a result, many people often wonder if visiting the statue means they're stepping into New York or New Jersey. Besides its geographical quirks, the Statue of Liberty is a powerful symbol of hope for countless immigrants as they approach the American shores. So next time you admire Lady Liberty, remember that her official home is in the Garden State. Surprisingly, octopuses change not only their color, but also the texture of their skin. Octopuses are the ultimate shapeshifters, not just changing hues, but morphing into entirely different surface textures. Thanks to thousands of specialized muscle-controlled structures called papillae, they can transform their skin from glassy smooth to spiky and rough in milliseconds. These changes help them blend flawlessly into coral reefs, rocky seafloors, or seaweed fields, creating camouflage so perfect they virtually vanish. But their abilities go beyond mere instinct. Scientists have found that octopuses observe, remember, and adapt their camouflage patterns based on learned experiences and their environment, demonstrating surprising intelligence. This means they don't just react, they choose. Their camouflage isn't just a reflex, it's a calculated dynamic response, combining memory, observation, and neural coordination in one of nature's most advanced natural disguises. Hard to believe, but there's an ice castle in Norway that disappears every spring. In the village of Alta in northern Norway, every winter a stunning ice hotel and castle are built entirely from snow and ice. This unique structure exists for just a few months. Once spring arrives, it melts and vanishes. Every year, the ice hotel is rebuilt from scratch, with new ice sculptures, an ice bar, and rooms for guests. This project has become a major attraction for tourists who come to admire the incredible architecture, and immerse themselves in a world made entirely of frozen water. Tiny plants, mighty power. Half of Earth's oxygen comes from the ocean. The oxygen we breathe is not only created by forests, but also by tiny marine organisms like plankton, algae, and seaweed. These little factories produce more than half of the planet's oxygen through photosynthesis. Thanks to sunlight, they transform carbon dioxide into oxygen, which is vital for all living beings on Earth. This amazing fact reminds us of the importance of the oceans and their role in sustaining life on our planet. Amazingly, Norway has a special underwater restaurant. Norway has opened Europe's first underwater restaurant called Under. It is submerged 5 meters underwater, and through large panoramic windows, diners can observe the underwater world without leaving their table. The restaurant offers not only gourmet cuisine, but also the chance to watch fish and sea creatures swimming just meters away from you. This unique restaurant has become a major attraction for food lovers and nature enthusiasts alike. The United States is undoubtedly a country of immigrants. Each year, over 1 million people arrive, making it one of the most attractive places to live. In the late 19th century, the largest number of immigrants came from Europe, while today 70% of the immigration flow consists of residents from Asia and Latin America. Mexicans make up the majority of this flow, with over 11 million people, followed by Indians, about 2.7 million, and Chinese, nearly 2.3 million. This cultural diversity in the U.S. is certainly one of the reasons for its success, as the country continues to integrate the traditions and talents of various peoples, creating a unique multicultural society. Ducks with superpowers, they have 3 eyelids. Unlike most animals, ducks have not 2, but 3 eyelids. Besides the usual upper and lower eyelids, ducks have a third transparent membrane. This extra eyelid helps sweep their eyes from the side, protecting them from dust and debris, and it also improves their vision underwater. Ducks essentially have supervision, allowing them to thrive in different environments. Can you imagine what it's like to have such an amazing eye shield? True superheroes in the bird world. Ban on cars on Mackinac Island. How horses defeated cars. Imagine an island where cars have been banned since the late 19th century. Mackinac Island in Michigan became a place where, in 1898, automobiles were completely banned because they frightened horses, the primary mode of transport at the time. Amazingly, this ban remains in effect to this day. Now, you can only get around the island by horse, bicycle, or on foot, and even deliveries are made with horse-drawn carts. Mackinac Island is a unique place where you can enjoy quiet streets without the noise of cars. Can you imagine a mole seeing with its nose? In the pitch-black tunnels of the underground, vision is useless. But for the star-nosed mole, that's no problem. This small, burrowing mammal has one of the most sensitive tactile organs in the animal kingdom. Surrounding its nostrils is a unique, star-shaped ring of 22 fleshy appendages, each packed with thousands of sensory receptors known as Eimer's organs. These structures allow the mole to process textures, vibrations, and temperature at lightning speed, so fast, in fact, that it can identify and consume prey in under 8 milliseconds. That's faster than human visual recognition. This extraordinary snout effectively replaces sight, acting as a touch-based radar system that maps the world in fine detail. The star-nosed mole doesn't just sniff out its surroundings, it scans them with precision unmatched in the mammalian world. Hard to believe, but borders can be peaceful. The Canada-US border stretches an impressive 5,525 miles, making it the longest international border in the world without military patrols. This unique aspect of the border fosters a sense of mutual trust and cooperation between the two nations. Both countries share not only vast landscapes, but also a strong economic partnership and cultural ties. Despite the extensive length, the border is marked by friendly customs and immigration regulations, rather than military presence. You might think of borders as places of conflict, but here it's about smooth passage and connection. People cross back and forth for work, family visits, or just to enjoy nature in places like the stunning national parks that straddle the line between the two countries. Interestingly, the peaceful nature of this border has allowed for a variety of joint initiatives, including environmental conservation projects and disaster responses. This friendly border shows that nations can coexist without tension, proving that sometimes peace really is the key to a flourishing relationship. Did you know there are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on Earth? Surprisingly, there are more stars in the universe than all the grains of sand on every beach on Earth. This cosmic fact highlights the unimaginable vastness of our universe. When you look at the night sky, there are billions and billions of stars, each potentially home to planets we know nothing about yet. Our place in the cosmos feels even more humbling when you realize that stars fill the space far beyond what we can even imagine. Did you know that artificial intelligence has been around since the 1950s? Artificial intelligence, or AI, began its development in the mid-20th century and has since revolutionized various industries. From virtual assistants to autonomous vehicles, AI has become an integral part of our daily lives. Today, AI is used in healthcare, finance, transportation, and entertainment, transforming how we live and work. The growth of AI is an incredible journey of technological evolution, showcasing how far we've come in understanding and creating intelligent machines. It's interesting that Italy has a failed skyscraper. In Milan, there is a skyscraper that locals call the failure. The Pirelli building, constructed in the 1950s, became a symbol of architectural failure, constantly requiring repairs due to design flaws. Despite its modern shape, the building became an object of mockery, but over time, it transformed into one of the city's iconic landmarks thanks to its unusual fate. Hard to believe, but some bacteria can survive in space. Scientists have discovered that some types of bacteria can survive in outer space. In 2020, Japanese researchers conducted an experiment on the International Space Station, where bacteria from the Deinococcus genus were exposed to the outside of the station for 3 years. These tiny organisms endured extreme conditions in space, such as radiation, vacuum, and temperature fluctuations. All of this is possible thanks to their unique cellular defense mechanisms that repair DNA damage. Can you imagine such small organisms surviving conditions that would be fatal to humans? This discovery opens up new possibilities for life beyond Earth. Why Washington, D.C. has no skyscrapers. Washington, District of Columbia, is a city with a unique skyline. There are no skyscrapers. This is because of the Height of Buildings Act of 1910, which limits building heights to ensure that no structure can overshadow the Capitol or the Washington Monument. As a result, the city has a distinct, low-rise architectural style that preserves its historic charm and keeps the monuments visible from almost anywhere in the city. The world's shiniest fruit. Meet the African palea. Believe it or not, the shiniest living organism on Earth is not a gemstone or an exotic animal, but the African fruit Palea condensata. This vibrant blue fruit with an iridescent sheen has a unique ability to reflect light. Its outer surface reflects light so intensely that it appears to glow from within. Scientists are studying this phenomenon to better understand how such a structure can be created in nature. This fruit has become a true mystery for botanists because its glow is caused by microscopic cell structures that reflect light like diamonds. No wonder it's considered one of the shiniest things on Earth. Johnny Appleseed, the man who planted apples not for food. Many of us have heard the legend of Johnny Appleseed, whose real name was John Chapman. This famous gardener didn't just plant apple trees across America. His goal was much more interesting. He planted trees not for the apples to be eaten, but to produce cider. In the early 19th century, apples were mainly used to make this alcoholic drink, and Johnny Appleseed became a hero among cider lovers. Knowing this story, each glass of apple cider will feel a bit more historical. How did London almost start growing pineapples in the middle of winter? In the 17th century, the English wanted pineapples so much that they started building special greenhouses to grow them. These greenhouses, called pineapple houses, were heated with coal, and it could take up to 2 years to grow a single pineapple. Considering that pineapples were a true rarity back then, they were given as royal gifts, symbolizing luxury and status. Is it possible there is a lake in Tanzania where no one swims? Lake Natron, located near the border with Kenya, is known for its extremely high salinity and alkalinity, which turns any animal that ends up in its waters into a mummy. Birds and fish caught in the lake literally turn to stone due to chemical reactions. Although it looks eerie, the lake's stunning red color draws tourists and photographers. Despite its beauty, locals and travelers never dare to venture into its dangerous waters. Could pangolins really roll into invulnerable battle balls? Pangolins, the only mammals entirely armored in keratin scales, have developed one of the most effective natural defense systems. When threatened, they instantly curl into a tight ball, exposing only their razor-sharp plates. These overlapping scales, made of the same protein as human fingernails, are tough, flexible, and can deflect bites from lions and leopards. Even mothers protect their young by rolling around them, forming a living shield. Their defense is so effective, predators often give up. Unfortunately, their invincibility against nature has made them vulnerable to humans. Their scales are falsely believed to have medicinal properties, making them one of the most trafficked animals in the world. Conservationists are racing to protect these secretive creatures, whose silent strength and prehistoric armor make them true marvels of mammalian evolution. Have you ever considered that ethnic tension in the U.S. is still an issue? Tensions between ethnic groups remain one of the most pressing social issues in the United States. Historically, laws prohibiting marriage between people of different races were in place, and it wasn't until 1967 that this ban was lifted. Nevertheless, racial tension continues to be a significant topic in American politics, culture, and daily life. Social movements like Black Lives Matter aim to highlight this issue, which remains relevant to society as a whole. Believe it or not, ukuleles are banned in Salt Lake City. This quirky law makes it illegal to carry an unwrapped ukulele on the street, which sounds strange, right? While the reason for this odd regulation isn't immediately clear, it adds a sprinkle of humor to the city's legal landscape. Salt Lake City, known for its stunning views and outdoor activities, has a history of unique laws that reflect its culture and community values. The ukulele has long been a symbol of joy and music, so it might seem surprising to find a prohibition against it in such a vibrant city. Perhaps this law was enacted to encourage musicians to keep their instruments protected or to discourage street performances that could disrupt the peace. While this may sound like a joke or a relic of a bygone era, it's essential to know your local laws, especially if you're a music lover planning to visit. So if you ever find yourself strolling the streets of Salt Lake City with a ukulele, be sure to keep it wrapped up to avoid any legal trouble. Is it true that your DNA contains about 3 billion base pairs? Inside each of your cells, your DNA forms a complex structure made up of roughly 3 billion base pairs. If stretched out, a single DNA molecule would be over 1 meter long. All these tiny components work together to determine your physical traits and even some aspects of your behavior. It's like a detailed instruction manual for building you, stored in every single cell. Did you know that the name John is over 4,000 years old? The name John is one of the oldest in human history, documented more than 4,000 years ago. This name has endured through countless ages and cultures, remaining relevant even today. Just imagine, millions of people throughout history have carried this simple yet powerful name, which continues to symbolize tradition and endurance. How do diamonds form from marine animals? In the depths of the ocean, under immense pressure and temperature, carbon from the remains of ancient marine organisms can turn into diamonds. This process takes millions of years, resulting in some of the rarest diamonds, prized for their unique origins. Scientists believe that some diamonds mined in Africa may have formed from these ancient sea creatures, giving the stones not only beauty, but also a history spanning millions of years. Surprisingly, some snakes have vestigial legs. Yes, certain snake species like boas and pythons still possess tiny vestigial legs called spurs near their tails. These remnants are the evolutionary leftovers from when snakes' ancestors had fully formed limbs millions of years ago. Over time, as snakes adapted to a slithering lifestyle, they lost the need for legs, but these little spurs remain as a fascinating window into the ancient past of these reptiles. It's like carrying a little piece of history on their bodies, reminding us that evolution is full of surprises. Why is the American economy so strong? What is the American economy? It comprises half of the world's most valuable companies, with 8 out of the top 10 being American. But what makes this economy so powerful? It's due to its ability to adapt and invest in new sectors. Historically, the U.S. has been very successful in choosing development strategies and has leveraged the economic opportunities from the wars of the 20th century for its growth. Moreover, the U.S. is not only strong domestically, but also controls a significant portion of global trade and production. Is it true that time flows differently in space? Yes, and it's due to Einstein's theory of relativity. The faster you move, or the closer you are to an object with a strong gravitational field, the slower time passes for you relative to the rest of the universe. Astronauts aboard the International Space Station literally age more slowly because they're moving at high speeds. This phenomenon is called gravitational time dilation. Hard to believe, but sea cucumbers sacrifice organs to survive. When danger strikes, the sea cucumber doesn't fight, it self-destructs. In a process called evisceration, this soft-bodied marine animal ejects its intestines, respiratory organs, and sometimes even its reproductive tissues through its anus, distracting predators with a slimy, sticky mess. But this isn't suicidal, it's strategic. The predator is left with a bizarre meal, and the cucumber crawls away, relatively unharmed. Within weeks, it regenerates its lost organs completely, a process that fascinates scientists studying human tissue repair and organ regeneration. This act of sacrificial defense is a remarkable example of how vulnerability can become survival. What looks like destruction is, in fact, controlled, calculated regeneration. Proof that nature sometimes wins by giving something up. Believe it or not, the U.S. has 6 time zones. With regions stretching across vast distances, America experiences time differently depending on where you are. The 6 official time zones are Eastern, Central, Mountain, Pacific, Alaska, and Hawaii Aleutian. For instance, when the clock strikes 9 a.m. in New York City, folks in Honolulu, Hawaii, are just waking up at 4 a.m. This staggering difference can lead to some interesting scenarios. Imagine planning a phone call to a friend across the country and realizing they're still asleep. Understanding these time zones is crucial for everything from business meetings to catching your favorite TV shows live. The time system not only reflects the geography, but also the culture and lifestyle of each region. People in bustling New York may be busy sipping coffee and heading to work, while in Hawaii, the sun is just starting to rise, inviting locals to enjoy the beautiful morning waves. So whether you are celebrating New Year's or planning a cross-country trip, keep in mind the time differences that create the incredible tapestry of American life. Can you believe olives come from the same tree? It's true, green and black olives, the stars of your favorite tapenade or pizza, actually grow on the same type of olive tree, known scientifically as Olea europaea. The difference between them doesn't come from the tree itself, but rather the time they are harvested. Green olives are plucked from the tree while they're still young and firm, just before they fully mature. This gives them their crisp texture and tangy flavor, perfect for those who enjoy a zesty bite. On the other hand, black olives are left to ripen on the tree until they turn a deep, rich color. This longer maturation process transforms their flavor profile, resulting in a softer, more mellow taste that many find delicious. Both types are full of healthy fats, antioxidants, and even anti-inflammatory properties. So whether you prefer the sharp punch of green olives or the smoothness of black olives, remember that they share a common origin, making every olive a little piece of culinary unison. Did you know that grizzly bears can run faster than horses? Contrary to the belief that bears are clumsy giants, they can reach speeds of over 50 kilometers per hour. That's faster than many horses. Grizzlies have not only powerful muscles, but also incredible agility, making them fearsome predators. Their speed allows them to hunt successfully and protect their territory. So if you encounter a bear in the wild, don't think you can outrun it. Better to keep a safe distance and admire its power from afar. Surprisingly, the shoebill looks like a living dinosaur. With its hulking frame, steely gaze, and enormous shoe-shaped bill, the shoebill stork, Balaniceps rex, is a bird that seems plucked straight from the Jurassic. Found in the swamps of Central Africa, this silent predator can stand over 1.2 meters tall and remain still for hours while hunting. When it strikes, it does so with terrifying precision, snatching fish, frogs, and even baby crocodiles. Its prehistoric appearance is matched by its behavior, slow, deliberate, and intense. The giant beak crushes prey with a snap as loud as a rifle crack. Despite its imposing look, the shoebill is shy and solitary, nesting deep in remote wetlands that are increasingly endangered by human activity. Conservationists now race to preserve both the habitats and the mystery of one of the world's most dinosaur-like birds. How does Germany successfully run a crocodile farm? At the crocodile farm in Saarland Zoo, more than 100 crocodiles live comfortably, even in Germany's harsh climate. This zoo is equipped with water heating systems that create ideal conditions for these exotic reptiles. Despite the cold winters, the crocodiles act as if they're in the tropics. Tourists can even watch them lazily swim or feed, making this one of the region's main attractions. Why do different countries have different sized banknotes? Banknotes in various countries are sized differently to help people with visual impairments distinguish them by touch. For instance, in the United States, all bills are the same size. But in euros and British pounds, each denomination varies in length and width. This helps not only the visually impaired, but also everyone else quickly differentiate denominations without looking. Additionally, it adds protection against counterfeiting, as counterfeit bills rarely match the exact sizes of the originals. Did you know a group of kangaroos is called a mob? Yes, that's true. A group of these fascinating animals is called a mob, and the name perfectly describes their social behavior. Kangaroos live in large groups, moving and foraging together. Their social structure is well coordinated, with each mob acting as a unit. This makes them unique not only biologically, but also behaviorally. Now, when you see a group of kangaroos, you can call them a mob and impress your friends with this fun fact. Who would have thought that you can see sounds through light? Sounds can not only be heard but also seen. Using special equipment like oscilloscopes, scientists can visualize sound waves, turning them into light pulses. These pulses take on different shapes depending on the frequency and intensity of the sound. The sight is incredible. High frequencies appear as fast, thin lines, while low ones as slow, broad patterns. Technology allows us to see music and sounds, adding a new dimension to how we perceive them. Did you know that Mount Everest grows every year? Each year, the world's highest peak, Everest, grows a little taller, by a full 4 millimeters. This happens due to the tectonic plates beneath the Himalayas, which slowly but steadily push the mountain upwards. These tectonic processes have been going on for millions of years, and every time climbers reach the summit, they stand just a bit higher than their predecessors. Imagine, every step on Everest's summit is a step into new heights. It's not just a physical achievement, but a testament to the incredible natural forces that constantly reshape our planet. Everest is a symbol of nature's grandeur and its continuous movement forward. Why can dung beetles navigate by the stars? These tiny creatures have a unique ability to use the stars as a compass. At night, they look at the Milky Way to always move in the right direction and stay on course. This is especially important when they transport their precious dung balls over long distances, as these provide them with both food and protection. Surprisingly, scientists have found that their eyes, while not highly developed, are sensitive to starlight. This celestial navigation helps them stay oriented even in the complete darkness of deserts and savannas. Horsepower, more than just a name. Did you know that a horse can produce a lot more than just 1 horsepower? The term was coined by Scottish engineer James Watt to compare the power of steam engines to the strength of a horse. It turns out that a single horse can actually generate a maximum output of up to 18,000 watts, which is roughly equivalent to 24 horsepower. This number depends on factors like the horse's size, breed, and physical condition. While we often use this unit to measure cars and machinery, Its origins tie us back to the era of steam engines and the Industrial Revolution. The spring equinox. More than just a change of seasons. The first day of spring is known as the vernal equinox. The term vernal comes from the Latin word for spring, while equinox means equal night in Latin. During this time, day and night are nearly equal in length. An interesting fact, according to a study on Facebook, spring is the season when couples are most likely to break up. Perhaps the balance of day and night encourages people to seek new beginnings. Who knew that an astronomical event could have an impact on our personal lives? Why is kissing camels banned in Egypt? And what could happen if you disobey? In Egypt, you can find signs warning, "No camel kissing." And it's not as strange as it sounds. These animals can be unpredictable, and they also carry infections that can be transmitted to humans. Despite their friendly appearance, camels can show aggression, especially when they feel threatened. It's better to keep a safe distance and settle for a photo to avoid any unpleasant surprises. Here's a wild connection you didn't see coming. A giraffe's tongue is sunproof. A giraffe's tongue is not only impressively long, up to 50 centimeters, it's also a multifunctional tool adapted for life under the sun. Its purplish-black color isn't just unusual, it protects against sunburn. While giraffes spend up to 12 hours a day reaching for thorny acacia leaves, their tongues remain exposed, so the dark pigment acts like built-in sunscreen. The tongue is also prehensile and tough, allowing giraffes to grasp branches, strip leaves, and avoid thorns with ease. Its surface is covered in bristle-like papillae, and its saliva is antibacterial, helping heal cuts and prevent infection. The tongue even plays a role in social grooming and caring for young. Flexible, sun-safe, and strong, it's not just a tongue, it's a savanna survival toolkit in action. Why are honey mushrooms considered the largest living organisms on the planet? In the forests of Oregon, there is one of the largest organisms on Earth, the honey fungus Armillaria ostoya. This fungus covers an area of over 9 square kilometers and has been growing for thousands of years. Underground, it forms giant mycelial networks that connect trees and other plants. Above ground, it may look like just a few mushrooms, but beneath the surface lies an enormous network rivaling the size of large cities. It's hard to believe, but it's true. Brits talk about the weather more than anything else. According to a study, 94% of Brits have talked about the weather at least once in the last 6 hours, and 38% reported discussing it in the last hour. This is due to the frequently changing weather in the UK, where rainy conditions are the norm. On average, there are 130 rainy days a year in Britain, prompting locals to always discuss what's happening outside. So don't be surprised if, upon meeting a Brit, the first question is about the weather. The Shawshank Redemption, a movie that didn't become a legend right away. Who would have thought that one of the greatest films of all time, The Shawshank Redemption, initially flopped at the box office? When this masterpiece by Stephen King and director Frank Darabont was released in 1994, it didn't make much money in theaters. But thanks to word of mouth, the film gained popularity over time. People began recommending it to friends, and it gradually became a cult classic. Today, it tops many lists of the best films of all time, proving that the power of great storytelling and genuine audience love can make a film immortal. Let's break a common myth today. Crocodile tears aren't about emotion. The popular phrase, crocodile tears, implies fake sadness, but it originates from a real biological process. When crocodiles feed, powerful jaw muscles press on glands that trigger tear secretion, not from sorrow, but as a way to clean their eyes. These reptiles often dine on sandy shores, and the tears help flush out irritants and maintain clear vision. The phenomenon was first recorded in the 14th century and misunderstood as emotional weeping, which later gave rise to the metaphor. In truth, crocodiles are cold-blooded predators, driven by instinct rather than empathy. However, their tear mechanism serves a crucial function. Without it, they'd risk infections or impaired hunting ability. Interestingly, researchers are studying similar lacrimal responses in other species to better understand how tears evolved not just for emotion, but as tools of hygiene and protection. The surprising trend in Japan, pets preferred over children. Imagine this. In Japan, there are now more pets than children. This surprising fact highlights modern social trends. More and more Japanese people are choosing to have pets instead of children. Statistics show that the number of pets in Japan exceeds the number of children under the age of 15. This is due to many factors, such as the high costs of raising children, career ambitions, and limited housing space. Pets require less time and resources, but still bring joy and a sense of care. This trend reflects global changes in the perception of family life and values in different countries around the world. Is it possible that sharks don't get cancer? Sharks are considered some of the most resilient creatures on the planet, and their unique regenerative abilities protect them from many diseases. Although sharks can get cancer, it happens very rarely because their immune system is extremely strong. Studying shark tissues has helped scientists better understand how to fight diseases and prolong human life. These ancient predators hold many secrets, and their bodies inspire breakthroughs in medicine. Who would have thought that clouds can weigh millions of tons? Despite their light and airy appearance, clouds actually have massive weight. 1 cubic meter of cloud contains about half a gram of water. Considering that a typical cumulus cloud can have a volume of over 1 billion cubic meters, its mass can reach 500,000 tons. That's about the same as 400,000 cars. Imagine tons of water floating above you. Did you know that there are hotels in Japan run by robots? In Japan, there is a hotel chain called Henna Hotel, where guests are served by robots. Robots can greet visitors, check them in, and even deliver their luggage to their rooms. In some cases, cleaning and room service are also handled by machines. This innovative approach brings a futuristic feel to hospitality, making Japan one of the leaders in robotic service. And although it sounds like the future, you can experience this today. The first computer mouse was made of wood. In 1964, Douglas Engelbart invented the first computer mouse, and it was made of wood. This device, with 2 metal wheels, revolutionized how humans interact with computers. Today, modern mice are much more advanced, but that wooden mouse remains a landmark in computer history. Could this really be possible? Electric eels zap with 600 volts. Electric eels, native to South America's murky Amazon waters, aren't actually eels but knife fish, and they've evolved one of the most extraordinary hunting adaptations: electric shock. They can generate bursts of up to 600 volts using stacks of electrocytes, specialized cells that act like biological batteries. By rapidly discharging these cells, the eel stuns prey or fends off threats. Incredibly, they can modulate the intensity and frequency of their shocks, using weaker pulses for navigation and communication, and stronger ones to immobilize prey. Some even emit double shocks to reveal hiding prey in mud. Indigenous tribes respected them as both dangerous and mystical creatures. Today, electric eel physiology is inspiring bioengineers to create soft, flexible energy sources for medical implants and underwater devices. They're not just predators. They're living power plants swimming through history and science alike. Wow! Turns out a lion's roar is louder than a jet engine at takeoff. Lions are not only kings of the savannah, they also reign sonically. A lion's roar can reach an ear-shattering 114 decibels and be heard up to 8 kilometers away, depending on wind and terrain. The secret lies in their vocal folds, which are uniquely shaped to produce a deep, resonant bellow using minimal lung pressure. These roars serve critical purposes: claiming territory, coordinating hunts, and reinforcing social hierarchies within a pride. The cool, dense air of night helps carry the sound across vast plains. Even in tall grass, pride members recognize one another by the distinct pitch and pattern of their roars. African folklore often paints the lion as a voice of thunder and dominance, and for good reason. Biologists use roaring to study population dynamics and pride structures, proving that in the wild, sound is power, and lions wield it like no other. Why do you think there are ice hotels in the world? In some northern countries, such as Sweden and Canada, hotels are built entirely out of ice. Every year, these buildings are reconstructed as they melt by the end of winter. Ice hotels offer guests the opportunity to sleep on ice beds, in ice rooms, surrounded by ice sculptures. However, warm sleeping bags are provided to ensure a comfortable night's stay. It's a unique way to experience the real winter. Did you know almonds and peaches are relatives? It turns out that almonds and peaches are members of the same plant family, Rosaceae. These two fruits are distant cousins in the plant world. Despite their differences, they share many biological traits. So next time you enjoy almonds or peaches, remember that your favorite snacks are actually relatives. And nature is full of surprising connections. What if everything you knew about Greenland was marketing? When Eric the Red was exiled from Iceland in the late 10th century for committing murder, he sailed west and discovered a vast icy island. Knowing settlers wouldn't be excited by endless snow, he named it Greenland, to make it sound lush and appealing. This wasn't a mistake, but a calculated piece of Viking-era real estate branding. The southern tip of Greenland, where he landed, does have green valleys in summer, but over 80% of the island is covered by a massive ice sheet. Still, the name sparked curiosity and drew colonists across the sea. It worked so well that Norse settlements thrived there for centuries. The name outlived the colonies, embedding itself in maps and minds worldwide. In truth, Greenland's name is more fantasy than fact, proof that words can reshape perception just as powerfully as swords or sails. Did you know that ancient maps showed sea monsters? During the age of exploration, when sailors had no idea what lay beyond the horizon, maps often depicted enormous sea monsters. The cartographers who created them frequently drew giant squids, whales, and snake-like creatures in the seas and oceans, warning future travelers of what lay ahead. Some monsters on these maps were inspired by real encounters with unknown sea creatures, while others were pure fantasy. For sailors of that time, a map was not just a guide, but a warning about the dangers lurking beyond the known world. How about this? Dubai is building skyscrapers that rotate. In Dubai, they are designing skyscrapers that will slowly rotate around their own axis, changing the view from the windows. The idea is that residents can enjoy a new view every day, with sunlight evenly illuminating the building. With such innovations, Dubai remains at the forefront of architectural thinking, creating structures that are not only beautiful, but practical for use in hot climates. Did you know that France sent a cat into space? In 1963, France launched Félicité, also known as Astrocat, into space. Electrodes were carefully implanted in her brain, allowing scientists to receive neurological signals during her voyage among the stars. Félicité bravely journeyed into space and miraculously survived the mission, becoming the first cat in history to venture beyond Earth. She not only etched her name into the annals of space exploration, but also showed that animals have been important pioneers in human cosmic endeavors. Just imagine if penicillin had been tested on the wrong animal. In 1929, Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin, but its path to becoming the miracle drug of the 20th century almost ended in disaster. Scientists had to test it for safety, and the original plan was to use guinea pigs. But guinea pigs react badly to penicillin. It's toxic to their unique gut flora. Fortunately, researchers chose to test on mice and rabbits instead, which tolerated it well. Had they used guinea pigs, penicillin might have been discarded as dangerous. That twist of fate changed medical history. Penicillin saved millions during World War II and launched the antibiotic era. The wrong test subject could have cost the world decades of progress and countless lives. This moment is a powerful reminder that scientific breakthroughs often hinge on decisions that seem small but prove monumental. Did you know the African elephant is the largest land animal on Earth? African elephants are true giants. These majestic creatures can weigh up to 14,000 pounds, about 6,350 kilograms. That's like a small car on 4 legs. These gentle giants are a symbol of nature's greatness, and their size is awe-inspiring. Can you imagine the world's longest bridge stretches over 160 kilometers? The Danyang Kunshan Grand Bridge in China holds the title of the world's longest bridge, stretching over 164 kilometers. This engineering marvel is part of the Beijing-Shanghai high-speed railway. Spanning lakes, fields, and valleys, The bridge not only astounds with its length, but also offers travelers breathtaking views as they speed across at up to 300 kilometers per hour. Surprisingly, Oklahoma leads the U.S. in tornadoes. This state experiences the highest frequency of tornadoes per square mile, making it infamous as a main part of Tornado Alley. This region, which includes parts of Texas, Kansas, and Nebraska, witnesses more tornadoes than any other area in the country. With its unique geography, including flat plains and warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico colliding with cool air masses from the Rockies, Oklahoma creates the perfect storm conditions for these powerful weather events. These tornadoes can be fierce, spinning winds that can reach speeds of over 200 miles per hour. If you're a tornado watcher or a thrill seeker, Oklahoma is a hotspot for chasing storms, drawing enthusiasts from around the world who wish to safely experience these natural phenomena. To prepare for the potential danger, local residents have developed a strong community awareness, with many participating in safety drills and investing in storm shelters. So whether you're fascinated by meteorology or just enjoy the adrenaline rush, Oklahoma's tornado scene is one to watch. Have you ever stopped to think that computers were women? Before machines took over, computers were people, often women, who manually calculated everything from artillery trajectories to satellite orbits. In the 1940s and 50s, NASA's space missions relied on these brilliant women to crunch the math by hand. Katherine Johnson, a black mathematician at NASA, calculated flight paths that sent John Glenn into orbit and helped land Apollo 11 on the moon. These women worked tirelessly, often underpaid and invisible, solving equations that no computer could yet handle. Their legacy was long overlooked, but now it's recognized as the backbone of space exploration. Their brains launched rockets, and their courage launched change in science, gender roles, and history. They weren't just part of the space race, they were the engines behind it. Did you know that an atomic bomb almost destroyed North Carolina? In 1961, the U.S. Air Force accidentally dropped 2 atomic bombs over North Carolina. One of them went through 5 stages of activation, and only the last step didn't trigger, saving the state from a nuclear catastrophe. Both incidents happened due to issues with the aircraft. This tragedy, which could have changed history, shows just how close we sometimes come to global disaster. What lies at the bottom of the ocean? The Challenger, deep in the Mariana Trench, takes us to the very depths of our planet, plunging a staggering 3,670 feet, or about 10,194 meters below the surface. To put that into perspective, if you dropped Mount Everest into this chasm, its peak would still be over a mile underwater. This incredible depth is not just a mystery, but a realm of extremes. The pressure there is over 1,000 times that of sea level, making it a harsh environment where few organisms can thrive. Yet life finds a way. Creatures like the mysterious amphipod and unique gelatinous species can survive in these conditions, relying on chemosynthesis or specialized adaptations. Exploring this deep abyss is challenging. Only a handful of manned and unmanned missions have ventured there, revealing astonishing insights about biodiversity and geological processes. Though it feels alien, the Challenger Deep plays a crucial role in Earth's climate and oceanic systems. So the next time you think about the ocean, remember there's a hidden world far below, just waiting to be discovered. Hard to believe, but snakes can sleep with their eyes open. Snakes don't blink because they don't have eyelids. Instead, their eyes are covered by a transparent scale. During sleep, their eyes remain open, giving the impression that they are always watching their surroundings. This feature helps snakes stay alert to threats even while resting. The transparent scale also protects their eyes from dust and dirt, which is especially important for desert and forest dwellers. It's an incredible adaptation that allows them to sense danger even in their sleep. Have you ever wondered who produces the best counterfeit dollars? The most notorious producer of fake American dollars is North Korea. The country manufactures high-quality counterfeit banknotes that are visually nearly indistinguishable from the real ones. These fake bills have been used for various purposes, including financing illicit operations, and have become a problem for global financial markets. Can you imagine that trees can make it rain? Yes, trees not only produce oxygen, but also help form rain clouds. This happens through a process called transpiration. When trees release water vapor through their leaves, the vapor rises into the atmosphere, where it condenses and forms rain clouds. This natural process shows just how essential trees are to maintaining the water cycle on our planet. Every forest is not only a source of oxygen, but also a key part of the water cycle, without which Earth would be a very different place. Did you know that the highest peak in Pennsylvania is lower than the lowest point in Colorado? This surprising fact highlights the incredible diversity and contrast in the geography of the United States. Pennsylvania's highest point, Mount Davis, stands at only 983 meters, which is actually lower than the lowest point in Colorado. The Arkansas River, at around 1,000 meters above sea level. Geography can sometimes surprise you with unexpected comparisons like this one. Wow, did you know the first ATM came before the internet? The modern ATM might feel like a product of the digital age, but it was born in 1967, long before smartphones or Wi-Fi. On June 27th of that year, Barclays Bank unveiled the world's first cash machine in London. Its inventor, John Shepherd Barron, was inspired by chocolate vending machines and designed a system that dispensed money using special paper vouchers and chemical pins. Early users inserted these slips to get up to $10, roughly $180 today. Though primitive, the machine revolutionized banking by giving people access to their money 24/7. It paved the way for today's seamless digital payments, card security, and mobile banking. The ATM wasn't just a convenience, it was a leap toward financial independence, automation, and trust in machines. Can you guess which insect is the heaviest in the world? The giant weta, native to New Zealand, holds the title for the heaviest insect in the world. This massive bug can weigh up to 70 grams, more than a sparrow. Wetas can grow up to 10 centimeters long and are truly giant compared to typical crickets. This insect is the heavyweight champion of its species and continues to amaze even the most experienced entomologists with its colossal size. Surprisingly but true, the wave in Arizona attracts tourists from around the world with its unique natural formation. Located on the border with Utah, the wave is a remarkable sandstone feature that has become a symbol of natural beauty and stunning landscapes. This site is known for its wave-like rock structures, painted in vibrant shades of red, orange, and yellow. Travelers from across the globe visit to see this place, and many photographers consider it one of the most beautiful and photographed spots on Earth. Is it really true that lakes can be colorful? The Spotted Lake in British Columbia, Canada, is a stunning natural wonder that brings this idea to life. During the summer months, when the heat increases, the lake's saline waters evaporate, leaving behind a dazzling display of vibrant colors. The lake is rich in minerals, including magnesium sulfate, calcium, and sodium, which create colorful pools that resemble painters' palettes scattered across its surface. Each year, visitors gaze in awe at the distinctive shades of blue, green, yellow, and white that emerge, making it a popular spot for photographers and nature lovers alike. Interestingly, the mineral-rich waters also have a story to tell, as they hold cultural significance for the indigenous people of the region who use them for traditional healing practices. While the lake's beauty is captivating, it's essential to appreciate it from a distance, as swimming is not permitted due to the fragile ecosystem. So, next time you think of lakes, remember that not all are just blue or green. Some can truly surprise you with their colorful charm. Goosebumps, an evolutionary artifact from our ancestors. Have you ever wondered why we get goosebumps? This phenomenon is linked to our ancient ancestors. Long ago, when humans and animals had more body hair, this reaction helped them appear larger and more intimidating to predators, while also retaining heat in cold weather. When tiny muscles at the base of hair follicles contract, the hair stands up, creating a fluffy effect. Today, goosebumps are a leftover from our evolutionary past, but they no longer serve the important function they once did. Nowadays, goosebumps are more often triggered by cold or strong emotions. So next time you feel goosebumps, remember that they are a part of your ancient defense system. Wow! It turns out that the 12 apostles in Australia are not only a natural wonder, but also a piece of historical heritage. The limestone stacks, known as the 12 Apostles, are located along the coast of Port Campbell National Park in Australia. These majestic formations attract around 2 million visitors each year and represent not just a natural phenomenon, but also significant historical value. They are part of an erosion process that has been ongoing for thousands of years and symbolize the power of nature. Did you know that Plitvice Lakes in Croatia are a true natural maze? The Plitvice Lakes consist of 16 individual bodies of water set in a unique natural landscape, interconnected by waterfalls and streams. These lakes are located within the eponymous national park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Plitvice Lakes are not only stunning natural beauty, but also an example of how nature can create a perfect destination for tourism and relaxation. Interestingly, Preikestolen in Norway is one of the most dangerous cliffs that should only be visited during the warm months. Preikestolen, also known as the Pulpit Rock, is a massive 600-meter cliff that attracts tourists with its stunning views of the Lysefjord below. However, it's important to note that the cliff is not recommended for visits in winter and spring due to hazardous icy conditions. In contrast, during the summer, its summit offers breathtaking vistas that are truly awe-inspiring. The story of ink saving. How a period saved a newspaper thousands of dollars. How important do you think a tiny change in logo design could be? In 1967, the New York Times decided to remove the period at the end of its name. This decision wasn't driven by aesthetics, but by savings. The newspaper calculated that dropping the period could save them a significant amount of ink, around $600 a year, which today equals approximately $6,000. While such an amount may seem insignificant at first for publishers, it became an example of how even the smallest changes can lead to substantial resource savings. Imagine how one small decision could impact the budget of an entire company. It's hard to believe, but giraffes and humans have the same number of neck vertebrae. Despite the fact that a giraffe's neck is much longer, both giraffes and humans have the same number of neck vertebrae, 7. These bones provide support for the head and allow neck mobility. In giraffes, they are simply much longer than in humans. This fascinating fact highlights the amazing diversity of evolution and nature, despite the external differences between species.